okay, I want to have a conversation with people, and it's like, this is not to call out anybody, okay? Because I'm just not like, that person anymore. I mean, I never really attacked anybody for like their personal beliefs or whatever. But this is something I want to talk about to people who, we had this conversation about Hecate. I just woke up. I'm still having my coffee. But this just doesn't apply to pagans. It applies to people in the diaspora, or people who are interested in African spirituality, people that are interested in Asheshe, Lukumi, Palo, Voodoo, whatever. I was having a conversation with a mutual the other day, and we were talking about Ifa, we were talking about Orishas, we were talking about the practices, the protocols. And this person said to me quite emphatically, well, I am a Christian. It came across as like, I'm always going to be a Christian. They even said something to the extent of they called their Ifa Jesus or something. So I'm just trying to put forth a important point, which is Christianity, and indeed Judaism and Islam, don't mix with the philosophy of African spirituality. Not as it's taught by the Catholic Church, not as it's taught by the Orthodox Church, not like it's taught in the Black Church or Protestant churches, Baptist, Episcopals, whatever. Mainstream Christianity condemns our practices. Now, you can be all about Christ consciousness. If you're like kind of like New Age and you're on the fringes of Christianity, you're into Gnosticism, you're into alternative forms of Christianity, not mainstream, that's a little bit different. Like the Progressive Charismatic Church of All Saints in Christ, which is what me and Sophia started, we talk about Christ consciousness a lot. However, there is a decolonization process that has to happen if you're interested in moving into ancestral practices. Like church Christianity can't continue to colonize your mind. You can't practice these things with your mind still colonized. And you absolutely cannot mix them. These practices don't mix. Like, you could go to the Catholic Church and go take Mass. And you can also go to a Haitian voodoo fete. Or you can show up and get a consultation with a Babalao in Ifa. But all of these practices are separate, and they're different, and they have to be treated separately, and they have to be treated differently. They don't mix with one another, not philosophically, not in practice. And I understand that people want to get closer to their ancestors. However, you need to ask yourself why. If your beliefs directly come into conflict with your ancestors, why are you trying to engage with them? Now, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from reaching out to their ancestors, but you need to ask yourself why, or which ancestors you should be reaching out to. If you feel that you are a Christian, and you're a devout Christian, and you're always going to be a Christian, and everything else is going to take second place to Christianity, then you need to do Christianity. And you should reach out to those ancestors that were Christian. Like attracts like, right? So if you're going to actively pursue Christianity and the church, you're pushing away those other ancestors that did not practice that. In the same way, if you go down the path of African spirituality, or if you're a pagan and you go down the path of neo-paganism or Wicca or something like that, you're moving away from those ancestors that are Christian. I don't think I'm wrong. Everything you think, everything you say, everything you feel, and everything you do vibrates through the entire universe. And what you put out there, you attract. So what are you trying to attract? Are you trying to attract those ancestral spirits that practice this stuff, okay, or not? Because more importantly than reaching out to spirits, whether or not you believe spirits are real or just a figment of people's imaginations, it is emotionally confusing. because you're putting yourself at odds. You're putting yourself at spiritual odds with yourself, in yourself. Your ancestors live in you. So you're creating conflict in you. Your energy is going to be all fucked up. You're going to feel upset and confused. You're going to be bouncing from here to there, to there, to that person, that church to that church, because these people, they condemn you for your practices, and fuck them. I'm going to do whatever I want, but I'm going to go work with this Babalao. This Babalao is going to tell me to do something, but I ain't going to do it because I don't believe in that. You're always going to be screwed. And your spirituality is never going to be smooth, cohesive, complete, and whole. You're not going to feel whole inside. You're always going to feel conflicted. So what do you believe? I'm going to recommend that everybody do an exercise. Sit down with a piece of paper. Draw a line down that piece of paper. And on one side, write down everything you actually believe. And on the other side of the piece of paper, write down your morals and your ethics. And when you finish this document that says what you actually believe, not what your mama told you, not what your priest told you, what you believe, and what your ethics and morality are, that is your religion. That. Not Christianity, not Ifa, not voodoo, not Wicca, not nothing. What you believe is your religion. So what the fuck do you believe? Most people on this app, I'm walking down the street, don't even know what they believe in. I finally found a spirituality that aligns with everything I actually believe in, and it's called Ifa. But I believe in these teachings, which is why I practice it. If I don't believe in these teachings, why would I waste my time interacting with it? Don't do shit you don't believe in. It's a waste of your time, and it won't work for you. Same thing with all you witch bitches out there. Same thing with all those Wiccans. So same thing with all of these people that have all these practices, and you want to practice all these things, but you haven't decolonized your mind. You haven't truly walked away from Christianity, or you haven't truly walked away from the church. Your spirituality will never work as long as you don't know who you are and what you believe in. And if you're still being influenced by old belief systems, do not try to take on new belief systems until you go and do your shadow work and fix that shit. Like I said, I'm trying to be as nice as possible. I'm not trying to rip on anybody. I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to say, if you're going to continue to be about Christianity and the church, and that's what you believe in, you need to go ahead and stop practicing everything else. Just stop and walk away from it and go back to the church and be the best Christian you can be. But don't be this shit show somewhere in between, straddling all kinds of fences. Because your spirits aren't going to know what to do. Your ancestors aren't going to know what to do. They're not going to tell you what to do either. They're going to sit back and watch you, and they're going to let you make your own choices. This is all about you. So first, determine what it is you actually believe in, and then look for people that believe in the same things and try to put those pieces together. And then practice what you believe. Don't practice things that you don't believe in, because you're going to be fucked up emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It can even fuck with you physically, okay? Like it can make you sick. It can make you physically sick because of anxiety and stress and everything else. So don't stress yourself. Don't be pressed. Go do your shadow work and figure out why you want to do any of this stuff. Because you don't want to do something just to do it, okay? That took a long time. I don't even remember what I said. I'm going to post this video anyway. Maybe you can make sense of it. Drop your comments below.